College football season ending on Monday, but making headlines today. Former Texas A&M coach Kevin Sumlin will be roaming the sidelines next season as Arizona's new head coach. He replaces Rich Rodriguez, who was fired earlier this month after accusations of sexual misconduct. Sumlin inheriting a 7-6 Wildcats team that returns junior quarterback Khalil Tate. Will be introduced on Tuesday. Meanwhile, former Texas coach Mack Brown learning that he'll be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. He's just the third UT coach to be inducted, joining Dana Bible and Darrell Royal. He's a 22nd Longhorn overall. In 30 years as a head coach, Brown, 244 wins, 122 losses, and 1 tie. In 16 years at Texas, he won 158 games, including the 2005 National Championship. And some good news that'll help Texas on the field. Defensive lineman Charles Omenihu announcing he'll return for his senior season instead of entering the NFL draft. He played in all 13 games this year, recording 28 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and he tied for the team lead with 4 sacks. He also forced 2 fumbles. Multiple reports on Friday that Texas has hired former Texas A&M offensive coordinator Noel Mazzoni as a quality control assistant. Anwar Richardson first reporting that hire. He's also reporting that Brian Carrington, Texas assistant director of player personnel, is being promoted to that new 10th assistant job, but only on an interim basis to help with recruiting. If you check Carrington's Twitter account, he seems to confirm the news. Big news in the baseball world. The Astros trading for Pittsburgh's ace Garrett Cole. Houston sending 4 players to the Pirates in return, including Joe Musgrove and Colin Moran. Cole, who was a #1 overall pick in the 2011 draft, had a 4.26 ERA last year and gave up a career-high 31 homers, but in 2015 he was one of the best pitchers in the NL, an all-star, and he finished 4th in the Cy Young voting. Cole's addition makes Houston an even bigger favorite to repeat as World Series champs next year. Last week, some members of the team in town as part of their winter fan caravan, and even though spring training is exactly a month away from today, until that starts, the championship celebration continues, including at Camp Mabry.
It's just something we all dreamed about,
a World Series championship.
Speaking of the Astros, they'll have a fan in Pyeongchang. Houston speed skater Jonathan Garcia qualifying for his 2nd Winter Olympics last week. Our Aaron Cargile has his story.
Olympic speed skater KXAN News.
Garcia's favorite race is the 1,000 meters, but in qualifying, he finished in 4th on Wednesday. Only the top 3 earning a spot on the Olympic team. Fortunately for him, he finished 2nd in the 500. 10 years ago, he moved away from Houston to Utah to focus on his Olympic training. And of course, nothing says wintertime like swimming. The Tier Pro Swim Series in town this past weekend. Day 2 on Friday. Former Longhorn and Olympic gold medalist Jack Conger finishing in 3rd in the 200 fly. Andrew Wilson, a former Division III swimmer who now trains at UT, finishes in 2nd in the 100 breaststroke. How about Daniel Kruger in the 100 free? Just a high school senior, 18 years old, out of Wisconsin, committed to swim at UT. He finishes in 3rd. 5-time Olympic gold medalist Nathan Adrian winning that race. In the 200 IM, Vista Ridge product and Texas X Will Lacone touches the wall 2nd, nearly 4 seconds behind Chase Kalish. And for the women on Friday, also in the 200 IM, former Longhorn Madison Cox, she finishes in 3rd. Current Aggie Sydney Pickram wins it with a new pool record. Yesterday, the final day of full events, shootout-style races, 50-meter races, 3 different races to get down to the finals. Conger, he wins the fly, and then Wilson, again, he trains here in Austin. He advances to the finals, but he loses to Nick Fink in the breaststroke. High school hoops, 25-6A game between Lake Travis and Leander in the first half. DJ Thorpe just picked up an offer from Texas A&M today. The dunk to put LT up. Lions down 6 at the half. Dalton Flowers with the and 1 for right there. And then Garrett Wilson, a 2-sport star, football and basketball, the steal and the dunk. Cavs win it 49-44. And circling back to Andrew Jones, as we told you earlier in the show, the school announcing on Wednesday that he was diagnosed with leukemia. Since then, a huge outpouring of support from the college basketball world, rivals, coaches, and teams across the country sending their thoughts and prayers to the 20-year-old, including at Oklahoma State, who went above and beyond on Saturday in their support of Jones.
It says a lot about Mike, behind him 1,000%.
Friday afternoon, Texas announced a fundraiser for Jones and his family. Since then, over 1,100 people have donated nearly $85,000. This money being raised in compliance with NCAA rules will help the Jones family deal with the unexpected costs of his recent diagnosis. As a student athlete, UT will be able to cover most, if not all, of his medical expenses. You can go to the link right here or to the story on our website at KXAN.com if you'd like to donate. Roger's back up after the break.